Hello, Violet Voices friends and enthusiasts. I'm going to attempt to show you what I was hoping would be a much better demonstration, but is actually not going to be the best demonstration. I'm here with content warning. We have a pelvic model, and I'm going to show you some stuff about Diva cups. Okay. All right, so we have 3 different sizes, 0, 1, and 2. This is like the Diva demo model. You can see that they stack, so that kind of explains the size difference too. But size 0 is meant for teens, or if you have a light flow. Size 1 is also okay for teens, geared towards a little bit older, but also geared towards if you have like a medium or heavier flow, just because it will catch more period blood than the smaller one was. And then the size 2 is really only recommended for people who have given birth vaginally, or who have been pregnant, just because, you know, it's kind of substantially bigger, but you know, it does hold a lot more blood. Here you can see the size difference. We have size 0, size 1, and size 2, and we also have a kit, hopefully in person, for you guys to see as well. But you know, they are stackable. So this is what it looks like. This lip at the top actually helps, so you insert it just like you insert a tampon. That's what I'm going to show you guys here. But this lip at the top, when you insert it, it actually suctions to the muscles in your vagina. So that's what prevents it from leaking when it's in, and also when it comes out. You just have to be kind of careful when you're pulling it out, so that way you know it doesn't spill when it's coming out. But this is what causes the suction, and you'll kind of feel it. You'll feel, you know, when you're inserting it. Let me give you an example of how you can fold it and insert it. The classic method is just this fold where you kind of just push it down in the middle, and then you kind of like fold it up. I don't know, it's kind of like a flower or tulip or something like that, and then you insert it that way, because you need to make it a little bit smaller to put it in. But then you'll feel it, you'll feel the whole lip open, and you'll kind of feel the suction part once it's actually inserted. So this vagina, unfortunately, is not as like moldable as I wanted it to be. So you can kind of see here, I don't know if you can get close enough to see, but this rigid part here, those ridges, that's actually your vaginal canal. Which we hopefully have just learned about in our anatomy lesson. And then I don't know if you can see all the way back there, but that's actually your cervix. So that's the start of your uterus. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to fold this guy, and again, it's not going to be as, you know, accurate as if you were actually inserting it yourself, because this thing isn't really budging that much. But I'm just going to fold it and just insert it. This is exactly where a tampon goes. And, you know, it would go in a little bit further. There we go. So it's actually, the lip has unfolded and it is kind of suctioned. Obviously, you know, with real muscles, they would be suctioning better, but it just kind of sits in there. And, you know, it would sit a little higher. You shouldn't really feel it when it's in and when you're moving around. But there, that's where it is. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention that you can see really well and clearly here on this model is that when you insert a tampon or a cup, so you see how there's 3 distinct holes here that a lot of people don't really realize that this is what people with XX anatomy have. This is your urethra, so this is your urethral opening. It's where urine comes out. So it's connected to, like we saw in the XY anatomy drawing, it's connected to your urethra, which is connected to your bladder, which is where urine comes from. This is your vaginal opening. So this canal, like we just talked about, is your vaginal canal. This is what leads to your cervix, to your uterus. And so that's the only place that menstrual blood can come from, because like we talked about, menstrual blood only comes from your uterus because it's the thickening of the walls of the uterus that's actually getting discharged. And then the last thing, ooh, it's blurry. Well, you guys have been staring at this for long enough. This is the anus, which connects to your rectum, which obviously releases solid waste. So there's 3 distinct holes for people with XX anatomy. For people with XY anatomy, there's only 2. So urine and semen come out of the same hole, like we discussed earlier. So that's one difference to definitely note. Yeah. Okay.